I'm not dead. So, I've been away for quite some time. Sorry, I have been working like crazy. I'm actually going to try and upload one video a month. I'm doing the Sean Tucker thing. Good guy. Check him out. Going to try and have a little more polished work going on, or a little more cohesion. I just felt like I got kind of burnt out. So this is basically the start of the new year. Right now I'm filming this in February, so this will probably be up by the late end of February. I bring to you what's in my camera bag 2019. I know I just did one of these a bit ago, but I have upgraded my gear. Low Pro Tactic 450. Great. There is the 450 AW, I think, which is the all-weather. They basically made it waterproof. They changed the dynamic or the shape of it a tiny bit so it fits a little more. I bought this off Amazon. I think I got it for 150 bucks. Actually, my girlfriend got it for me because she loves me. But great backpack. Love the crap out of it. I could not be happier with any other backpack in the entire world. As far as the camera bag goes, this is everything I've ever wanted and more, which is awesome because usually when you get a camera bag, it's what shortcomings does it have? Straps for a tripod. These are customizable. You can actually put them anywhere you want, and they're not necessarily for a tripod. You can mount anything you want that you can think of with this. So if you wanted to, you can expand this to have it almost the entire length of the back, or I think it'll actually link halfway down the side or something like that. It's insanely customizable on the outside. So whatever you want to carry outside the bag, you get the tripod foot holder or a foot holder for a stand or whatever. You get a little pouch that'll actually lock into these shotgun straps. I don't know what these are called. I really don't. But whatever they are, they fit a carabiner perfectly, so you can actually hang climbing equipment or anything like that. I love the crap out of that. And they also give you a water bottle pocket, which is, like I said, you can mount it anywhere. So if you're a guy that likes water bottle on one side, tripod on the other, you're going climbing with this backpack and you want to put a ton of climbing equipment or tie your rope on one side or anything like that. The outside shell, not waterproof, a little water resistant. It does have a rain cover that comes out of the bottom, goes over the entire thing, but once again, as between you and the bag, all of this gets wet. So that's really depending on, I say, basically don't go out when it's absolutely crappy out. If you wouldn't pull your camera out in that weather, chances are you don't want the bag there either, even if you got a weather sealed body. So, going into this whole thing, I'm just going to work from the top down. Top of the back. Tripod remote, cable remote. So cable release, I bought the Nikon one. You can buy one off Amazon for a little cheaper. So the non-Nikon one is the same thing really. It just doesn't have Nikon on the label and it looks a little different. But it does plug into the camera specifically. You can push the button and it takes a picture. Or if you put it on bulb mode, you can push and hold. Or you can push, hold, and push up and let go, and it actually locks into a little dead man switch. So when you pull it back down, it'll unlock, the camera will stop taking a picture. ND filter, variable ND filter. I used this over in Europe when I went and traveled. Went to Europe. These are great because, one, when you start, they're one shade of ND, so certain amount of stops. I think this starts at 1 and then goes up to 8. And as you rotate this, it goes a little darker and to wherever the max neutral density is. I used the crap out of this. I loved it a lot. It saved me in a couple situations, which I cannot be happier with that. It fits on my mainstay lens, so if you had a couple lenses, I could see how this would be kind of a pain because you'd need to buy one for every lens. But what I usually say is if you buy a lens and you never do anything with it, or it's out of your bag for a certain situation that you never need, why buy extra stuff for it that doesn't need to be there? Of course, microfiber cloth. I use these like crazy. And another SD card. Lens gels. That's a CTO. I've got also blue, yellow, I think a purple in here. So lens gels, or sorry, speed light gels. So light gels are basically, they change the color of the light coming out of that light. So if I'm shooting in a situation where there's just a bunch of street lights, those are incandescent bulbs. Those are going to have an orange hue to it. So if I'm using my speed light, I want it to match whatever ambient light is around. That way I don't have a yellow person and an orange background, or a normal person and a yellow background, whatever this situation may be. This is the thing that actually wraps around your said speed light, and you can leave it hanging if you want, or put the gel in there, it wraps around the top, speed light shoots through it. I have a microfiber cloth, 3 of them. I also have an ND filter for my 35, which my 35-1.8 is what's being filmed on right now, so I'm not really going to go into that one. It's a 35-1.8. It's a great lens, it's sharp, that's all you need to know. Lens cleaning solution, business cards. I carry business cards like crazy, and they have my information on them. As a photographer, you're always marketing, you know, or if people say, hey, can I see that, like, where can I see your work or anything? Here, I'm on Instagram, whatever kind of thing. It's a quick way to, you know, pass information along and how to get a hold of you. It's actually really important because no one's ever going to remember you 30 seconds from now. And business cards, they're cheap. So you can buy, what, 500 for 15 bucks on Vistaprint or whatever it is. So it's kind of, you know, it's, why not? A glass prism. So as you know, everybody is kind of a creature of habit. So I picked one of these up on Amazon, actually pretty cheap. And do not get the acrylic ones. The acrylic ones don't diffract light as well. But the glass ones work beautifully, and you can do a lot of tricks with them. I recommend, if you want to see some work that's been done with a prism, I'm still playing around with this, I'm still learning about it, and if you want to see some work with it, Brandon Wolfel on Instagram. First lens I have, 11-16 2.8. I love this lens. Very wide angle, especially on a crop body. It's an ultra wide. Very little distortion, very cheap for the price. I love this lens. I absolutely love what this does to interiors. If you shoot people in a landscape, if you have a giant, let's say, mountain range, this, if you put a person in the correct distance, little people, giant places, it looks absolutely awe-inspiring and amazing. Barely any color diffraction. It's really, really sharp for what it is, for how much it is, because usually you're spending thousands of dollars on a lens, or 1,500 plus, or like, let's say, I think the cheapest I've ever seen a good lens for is like 800, 900. So for that, being the price that it is awesome. A Neewer 750 Mark II. It is a TTL speedlight. I love Neewer products because they're cheap and they get to the point, but they're not absolutely outrageously expensive. It rotates backwards, forwards, anything that you could possibly want. So you can shoot and reflect off ceiling. Of course, it's got a bounce card in it and a diffractor, so you can, you know, throw that light out everywhere or disperse that light out everywhere. This is a great little speed light, especially for being sub $200, because if you bought a Nikon or a Canon or let's say a Sony speed light, they get up there. I remember Nikon SB900s were like about 700 bucks, which these things can blow up very easily. So for 100 bucks, I get TTL metering or TTL control over it. I'm good. And TTL, I've been shooting everything manual my entire life. So TTL is basically super nice because it's one less thing I have to worry about. Batteries. Triggers. I got new wireless triggers. Actually, I got one new wireless trigger. These are a bit expensive. The Cowboy Studio ones were super cheap. I think now they're selling them in 4-packs, so one master controller and 4 slaves for 25, 35 bucks, something like that, which controls 4 freaking speed lights, which, unless you're Joe McNally, you're probably not using 4 of those triggers, but good to have 2 as a backup, or 3 as a backup, or whatever you want. I'm typically a 1 speed light kind of guy, and I'll manipulate that with a like a reflector or something, so that'll work better for me. So the newer N1 for Nikon, I believe they sell these for Canon and all other things. Basically, go on Amazon, look up newer, look up your camera, and just type in like, I have a Canon Rebel T3i with TTL metering. I need a slave, speedlight controller for it. Always keep a clean camera bag, always, because it's never, ever more frustrating when you go, oh, I need this lens. Nope, nope, nope. See what I mean? It doesn't also look professional on a shoot when you're going, hold on, I swear I got it. I swear I got it. Yeah, you just show up, I need my wide angle, I need my body. Yeah, that stuff is important. My camera, body, D7200, my main workhorse lens, so the ND filter, or neutral density filter, the variable one that I have, fits this. And this is basically my portrait lens and everything else. It is one of those, it zooms out kind of thing. I'm not really crazy about that. But it is also $200. So I have a 8-year-old lens, or when they were released was 8 years ago. So these things are absolutely awesome. They have a tiny bit of not sharp diffringing area around the outside of the photo, but I'm not really concerned about that, considering most of the time I have model blown out background. Background's out of focus, it just helps with whatever I'm doing. Landscapes, not so much. So it's a 28 to 75, 2.8, so it works pretty well in low light. I would like a 1.8, but typically having that is, I mean, that's a ton of money, like a lot of money. But for what it is and how cheap it is the most amazing bang for your buck that I've ever seen in my life. Peak Design's camera strap. My girlfriend got me this for our anniversary. Love you much, honey. I love the crap out of this thing. It is a little expensive, but honestly, it's worth the investment, because how often do you buy a strap once or in your life? Like once, twice. And usually when you're buying a strap, it's to replace the other one, because the other one's not really great at all. There's nothing wrong with the strap that comes with your camera, but also at the same time, if you want something a little nicer, a little, it's got a little more panache, a little more function, that's great. So I recommend Peak Design. They have a quick little release system, which I love the crap out of this thing. Whenever you throw your camera on a tripod, this, if it's windy, becomes a sail, and it also shakes around, and having any sort of leverage against your camera is really a detrimental thing to your shot. Your shots don't come out so crisp and clear. So Peak Design actually made this little buckle system that thing slides in, holds great, press on it, push it out, thing slides out, no problem. Like I said, it is a little on the pricey side, but it will probably be the last strap that you'll ever want or need. So that's really about all I've got in my camera bag. I want to know what's in your camera bag. Send me comments, messages, whatever you like. Links down below for most of this stuff. I'll put what I can up there. And it was good seeing you guys again. Enjoy.